come to the Vital Hearts. Because one thing, I mean, MMO stuff is on our minds because it's Vital Hearts, because they're cracking down on gacha boxes in Japan.
Are they?
Yeah, they've passed laws about, they've passed more strict laws about how they can be used. But this has come up before where I mentioned, like, loot boxes and gacha boxes are a hot issue today. I mean, speaking of the European Union, where in Belgium they're already considered gambling. I don't know if they're considered gambling everywhere in Europe yet.
I think they could probably make the case for it. It's probably getting there.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, people
I'm
love
keeping an
gacha
eye on it.
boxes.
Hmm?
I know people love those gacha things.
Well, they do. So that's a question of whether it's gambling or not. But once
People
again,
love slot machines too, basically.
right? People are compulsive gamblers. There's a place called Las Vegas. Let me introduce you to it.
Yeah, the slot machine gives you money. The gacha box just gives you an item.
I love how you say a slot machine gives you money.
Well, at best. Okay, at best.
And also, have you played a modern slot machine? Some of them don't even give you money.
Yeah, they're at every gas station. Well, they used to be.
The Plants vs. Zombies slot machine is one of my favorites. So now you've got your freaking phone games. But moving on, the question is whether Vital Hearts is supposed to be a different world game, where it's about going to a different world and everything is cool and fantasy, or whether it actually has, it's about an MMO being modeled. Because questions like the health impacts, like what is that one about the not No Game No Life? It's the other one where the girl meets her boyfriend online.
Recovery of an MMO junkie.
Recovery of an MMO junkie. Thank you. I mean, I'm more interested in things like Recovery of an MMO junkie and Welcome to the NHK than I am necessarily in Death March or Batum.
Well, yeah, because those take place mostly in the other world, but no, Batum is all real life. Batum takes place on an island with real people, placed in a horrible situation. But no, kind of like how Dot Hack was mostly in the other world, but it had that spin-off series where dealing with the people left in the real world whose friends just suddenly went into comas because they're stuck in the game.
Yep. Okay. So we've got some people assembled here today. Teth, what is your character today?
I am Jikai Kato. I am a laborer. My avatar's name is Susanoo, and much like George Bush, I'm a decider.
Yep. Griffin, what's your character?
I've got Hirako Oshira, who is an infotech exploiter who plays Ohira, a predictor class character. His motto is, "What am I doing here?"
And Avery, what are you playing today?
I am playing Cesar Babak, who is a criminal. And his avatar is Rahul 121, and his class is opportunist.
Yes. And I think now we've had a couple weeks to stew over it. You saw that there were a couple revisions in the book for character classes, right?
No.
I don't think anything changed from last time. Because the last edition of the book was also the last time we played.
Right. So you've had 2 weeks to read that copy. Do you have any questions about that?
I thought there was a brand new one. Okay,
No, that's
well,
what I'm saying.
worried.
Nothing's changed since the last time we saw it.
Well, you might have had a chance to review the book and have questions, which is why I'm asking.
Well, I remember you added, flank changed? And something else, what was it?
Some of the classes were retooled to have retreat. One thing that was true in previous versions of the game is a retreating stance was an automatic 1-point rally on yourself. Now it's been changed to where a retreat is you get a self-rally roll, and some of the character types were changed so they get bonuses when they're retreating. But it might be that's not any of the classes that you guys have.
Not in mine.
Okay, because now hashtag retreat was added, which is a bonus whenever you're running away from a fight.
Let's see. I think last time you added in the flanking, but the hashtag flanking wasn't taken away. I guess we should go ahead and drop it for now.
It looks like, yeah, I think opportunist is still faint.
Yeah, crowd control is what got added to me. And I've already used that last time, so.
Yeah, well, and also extreme action was added for Arcaloid's healer. So, which I think last playtest showed it worked pretty good. Yeah, faint is still in there, and that's one that's standing out with me because I know you guys have it, but I'm a little worried it's a little weird.
Which one?
Faint. The opportunist gets the faint hashtag, which is once per fight you can claim a +1 success. It's the only proc that has a cooldown. All the other procs in the game don't have cooldowns; they only have conditionals, whereas that one is an actual cooldown, and that's why I worry that stands out as a weird rule.
And I always keep forgetting about it.
Right, and you keep forgetting that you have it. So, I mean, that's a problem with procs in general. Is the idea that you have to remember that you have these. But faint, I think, is one of the ones that we're going to go ahead and find a better replacement for it. One of the goals in the game was to make sure that the starting classes in the game are very simple to use, that they have the very bare bones abilities. So that way you, but it will have rapid leveling up. So you can just go ahead and level up, and the game can get more complicated. So okay, so business as usual.
Speaking about leveling up, do we get any way to get better attributes?
Yes, it is not written in the document at present, I think. Let me flip to the leveling up. Pardon my dust. Whee! And hey, I went through and revised all the font installations.
Ooh.
Are you excited to hear that?
Yay!
That's what we come here for. Just description of the fonts.
I mean, I know a lot
Can't
of
think
people
of any
are
other reason.
super excited about that stuff. I've just been reading a lot of comics where they take a whole comic strip out just to say, hey, we're changing how these people talk.
Well,
New
it was
fonts.
also, yeah. Well, it was also the. I think some of you were worried that the document wasn't searchable. That's the effect you would have seen.
Yeah, I
That the
did
document
bring that up.
wasn't searchable. It's been fixed.
Oh yeah, next edition.
That's a good news.
Yeah, that was related to the fonts, so that's a technical issue. And now that I look at it, we don't even seem to have a chapter labeled leveling up. I thought we did.
I thought we did too. Maybe you changed that when you added all the new stuff.
Maybe I'm looking for another wrong word. Okay, maybe it was accidentally deleted. That's why we do this. Anyway, it's 10 experience points to buy up an attribute.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to go ahead and buy something up before we start.
I've only got
Well,
6
I'm still at
experience.
6 XP.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I get for changing characters.
Right. Now, the levels in the game, the level points that characters have, those improve by playing the video game.
Right.
Yep, and those you've awarded some of already.
Level
So
Right.
at least you have
right?
those.
Right. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and award another 2 level points based on what you guys just did in today's game. Because after you get separated like this, where some of you went to the void, because if you remember, some of you pursued these cheater guys into their cheater void, and someone else incapacitated the cheater, the game is going to, after that, where you defeated one opponent and I said that she just logged out, there's going to be a spectacular server crash, which I would actually like the players who experience the server crash to make a roll of mind, academics, and observation. If you have any procs such as programming, those do apply to this roll.
Oh boy.
If you have anything else that might apply to this, just ask.
So a single D4 from me.
I see you know everything about
Well,
this
I've
already.
critically
then.
failed this. How about that?
How about craft?
Academic.
I'm gonna say no because this is a VR experience, not an RL experience.
Oh shoot, I actually have observation. I have a second chance.
And then the program.
Never mind. Not a critical fail, though, or whatever. Botch. It's not a botch.
I have
1, 2,
a
3,
success.
4 on my smart roll. So I was the only one who didn't actually go through, so I'm the only one experiencing this differently from them. But yet I'm here going, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know why the server just crashed. It's because of this big gaping hole in reality.
Okay, so Avery has 1, 2, and Avery, you're a programmer, right?
I theoretically know.
Sorry, you're a
My background was supposed to be I deal with counterfeit electronics and smuggling electronic bits all over the place, but
Right, sorry.
that's just
you're a criminal. Sorry, there's criminal and hacker in the book. One of my playtest
Yep.
groups was nothing but criminals and hackers, and one student. It was hilarious. So yeah, so they were just all about the crime. No, you're a criminal who just happens to know this kind of stuff. Okay, with 2 successes, yeah, it is a server takedown, and that. But with 3 successes, go Griffin, noticing that this isn't just a server crash because you can make out some of the, like in anime fashion, you can make out what some of the gobbledygook mean. It's the Matrix. I can understand what these symbols mean. This has all the hallmarks of a administrator-induced crash.
Ooh, okay.
Like if you were asked, like I can't know, I can't know, but I suspect that the server that you're on crashed, and there's a message that everyone was crashed and forced log out. But the guru meditation number that appears, before it's erased, looks like this was an administrator-induced crash.
Someone in the server room fucked up.
So it was a conscious action.
Mhm.
This drops everyone out of the game.
Ooh.
And then your computer has the swirling dots on the screen that says, "We're sorry, we're not able to connect right now. Please come back." Click this message here for customer service.
Yes, I imagine that'll immediately solve this problem.
So also the anime is jarring because we've gone from our super saturated digital color to the dark, drab, colorless gray of your existence.
No.
Because Jakai, what does your room look like?
It's probably very sparse. Like white walls. There's a bed in the corner. I have a sitting computer desk on the far wall. Maybe a poster on the wall, but that's about it.
And what about you, Griffin?
Spartan, completely drab, beige carpet, maybe like a single shelf with very orderly books on it, and then the one desk on up against a completely
You guys
bare
have
wall.
no maquettes, no wall scrolls, no doujinshi, nothing.
No.
All right, so
Well, me and him are
Avery,
best friends. Makes sense.
I want to hear what Avery's play, what Rahul's place looks like.
I would assume that the garage I live in contains primarily old mechanical lathes and maybe a Bridgeport, maybe several other tools, definitely some printers and boxes and boxes and boxes of random electronic junk.
Yep.
Most of which is completely valueless, but there are some, shall we say, surprises hidden in that junk.
Right, and you've got 3D printers and a laminator, so you can make fake labels.
Absolutely.
Yep, like those metal shelves that are there. Yep, totally. Now, did we decide that your character is hacking into the Japanese network, or are you actually hiding somewhere in Japan?
I would assume that I am in Japan right now.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move people. Now, I don't have a full map of Japan loaded. I just have the Kensai Science District.
If it helps.
Well, you got the
long-
mini-map of Japan over here, in case that helps.
Say, a long time ago, back when we first restarted this, I did talk to Griff before about where I thought I was living.
Oh yeah, where did you think you were in Japan?
I am in the Kasai Clean Town.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I gotta bring up a map of my own because I gotta remember exactly where that is. Because the physical address doesn't help me very much to the map that we have. Specifically, Kasai Clean Town is where most of the Indian population lives in the local area.
Oh, are you on the Northern Peninsula?
I am nearby to the game. If that's what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm
yeah,
20
It was somewhere in town.
I'm
I can't
28
remember where
minutes
either.
away from where me and Griffin work.
Okay, yeah, because this is the Kansai Prefecture, which is
Yeah.
where a lot of the action has been taking place.
I'm trying to bring up the map now. Let's see. Is Shinjuku on this map? Oh, sorry, I brought up the wrong map. Shinjuku, is that on our map here?
I don't think so. I might be mistaken. I need to get out my map of Japan.
Kodo is on here, right?
Nah, because these are only like the stops, so it wouldn't be like every neighborhood.
Okay, let me see if I
Yeah.
can find where we're at here. Again,
So-
I looked all this up a long time ago.
Yeah, and I'm guessing because I think
Are we anywhere near Kanagawa?
crud. I don't like I am not finding the right notes of this, but I remember you guys were doing a lot of adventuring in one of the abandoned factories.
Right, the
You
previous
know what?
characters stole a truck even.
You know what? I am closer to Tokyo than this, so I
it's not a big
live a ways away. I guess me and Griff both work a very good distance from the setting of the game.
That's okay, because there's public transportation.
Yeah, I mean, I know this game takes place in 20X or whatever, but Kansai used to be have a lot of industrial effort. Yeah, here's my notes on it. Kansai used to have a lot of industrial, but I think you guys are familiar with the Lost Decade.
Yep.
Yes.
So there's lots of abandoned. There's still abandoned factories, and so I don't know if Rahul would be squatting in one of those factories or if he actually has like a legitimate apartment housing.
I would assume that I have a legitimate place of apartment and a garage and stuff like that.
Okay,
But
so you're
in the very cheap area when I can get lots of space for quote unquote my hobby.
so you're on the border between the residential districts that you see in all the Yakuza video games and the industrial district. So you're in a really cheap, terrible apartment.
Yes, probably located near an airport because nobody loves to live near the airport, and I don't.
Perfect, and they have two airports right next to each other because that makes a little bit of sense. So yeah, so you're probably in the Wakayama prefecture here, near the Kansai, in that conduit that's between Kansai Airport and Tokushima Airport. So that makes a lot of sense. So far enough away from the water that you don't have the view. So probably somewhere in here. I'm also going to assume that you live above one of the many convenience stores. What's the name of that really big convenience store that's in Japan? It's like everywhere.
Good question.
We need better otaku. Okay, but the two of you, Jikai and Hiraku, you're actually east of here.
Right.
Okay. Well, you guys are kicked out of the game, and it won't let you sign back in. So who were those cheating jerks, and how did they do all of that? I guess I would ask, after you guys are shocked back to reality, Jikai, what's your first thing that you do?
What time of day is it?
Of
Well, never mind. Doesn't matter. First thing I do is go to the bathroom. I've been on for a while. Probably was holding it in.
We have the 5-panel jump cut where it just goes straight to him washing his hands.
Yep, straight to washing his hands, and then we play the different music. Okay, yeah. So you freshen up. No, you'd have like an anime moment, yeah, where you go and you wash your hands, and then we'd have your character in the mirror, and we multiplane it, so you're slowly panning, and you're thinking your internal monologue to yourself, like, this game. Who were those people? Why am I spending 5 minutes without my mouth moving? Oh wait, that saves on the animation budget.
As we always think internally. We never talk out loud to ourselves. Otherwise, the cost goes up.
Otherwise, cost goes way up. And Griffin, what would you do?
Well, the server did just crash.
But you're pretty sure it was an admin-induced shutdown.
Indeed. I wonder if I could maybe get specific information about that, which I guess was the programming role, so probably not.
Do you have? Well, how many? You scored a bunch of successes. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got programming, which is 5.
Well, the programming role I put in the D12, I think.
Oh no! In Vital Hearts, programming is a hashtag. It's an automatic success.
Okay. Well, I mean,
if I ever ask you to make a programming,
yeah,
if I ever ask you to make a computer programming role, you have 1 success, no matter what you do.
There we go.
Okay, so you've got 4 successes. Do you have research? I forget what your character class was.
Definitely do.
Okay, so you start going through the notes. So if you have more time to go through this, you'll get an extra success. So
right, I pull up the debug text that they put out that nobody ever looks at. I'm like, let me take a look at this.
Right.
Maybe it came from here, and maybe it was induced by this.
Because that's totally how debugging works. You open up a bunch of windows and type in a bunch of commands. Back me up on this, Avery.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Trust me, I know too. You just open up a bunch of windows and the code scrolls by and you go, yes, I understand now.
Wait, right there, that pattern right there, that's a bug.
First thing you do is to open a browser window and Google.
Google, why program crash? And then, and of course, one of my favorite jokes from FKCD, where you find the one other person in the world who had your problem, but didn't solve it. It's a post from 7 years ago with no replies. What did you see? What did you see? Okay, so you start going through that code and take a sip on your. So this is Japan. It's a coffee energy drink. They don't do the Red Bulls, right?
Yeah, it's like some sort of canned coffee or something.
Okay. And Rahul, I didn't ask you to roll your craft, but I know you have a sizable amount of that. You do know there have been rumors going around. So the virtual reality system that is used by Vital Hearts is the NIE system, which is proprietary to the company that makes the game. And you've heard rumors, because it's the internet, that people have been hacking their own helmets, their own systems, to allow them to bypass some of the anti-cheating protocols in the game. Let's just spitball here. Let's say that some company theoretically made an MMO that was like post-nuclear war United States. This is just a theory, okay?
Yes.
Just a theory.
Right, and for some reason they locked they're using a protocol like the UDP protocol where when they get signals from the devices, they just trust that whatever is coming, that the traffic that's coming from the players is true. That's not lying to them about moving faster because their frame rate is higher, or allowing them to engage in PvP behavior, because this cuts down on some of the traffic. And of course, bandwidth is a huge problem when it comes to MMOs. So
yes.
Right. So with some of your craft knowledge, you've heard this theory, and you were attacked by a bunch of people who weren't in a PvP zone, but clearly engaging in PvP. So that does make you wonder if what they were doing was that. But then you look at all this computer crash data that came down. It's like, but you know enough to hack hardware. You don't actually do you actually have any academic skill? I think you do because you rolled it, right?
Nope, I do not have
Okay.
any academics. That's one thing that I want to buy at some.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So let me know. We can. In fact, if you want to buy, I forget if skill ranks are in the manuscript, but skill ranks cost 4 points apiece. Buying one skill rank gives you a D4. Buying 2 ranks gives you a D6, etc.
I don't know how much XP I have because the XP was
6.
only mentioned
Oh, I'm sorry.
once to me.
I apologize. You should have 6 at this point.
Great.
Okay, so I did ask in the opening briefing, but once again, it's a friendly game. If you want to burn 4 of those to just buy a D4 in academics, just so you can have some idea what's going on, that would be cool. Or you could hoard it, because I know I said 10 points will buy up one of your attributes.
I will go for a rank in academics because it's useful.
Right, so you have an extra D4. So you're looking at what just happened there and you're thinking, wow, that was a lot of stuff. And also because Vital Hearts is still in early access beta, that you're getting core dumps on your system. So I guess you're at that level of you know enough to know that you don't know enough.
Well, I probably know about IDA or some other disassembly tools.
Yes. Okay, so what you do know without even taking apart your NIE headset is that the big breakthrough, Zaburo is the company that makes the headsets. Zaburo bought a chip company that is actually here in the Kansai, Transverse Micrologic, or TML, where they're the ones who make the proprietary chips that run inside the NIE consoles, and they're proprietary, but no one has posted to the internet that they've successfully decrypted them yet. That these are the ones that allow virtual reality. There is a competing concern in the U.S. The Altamont company in the U.S. has their own competition called the High Life system that isn't nearly as good as this. Whatever Zaburo's like. You're convinced that the virtual reality, it's a hardware thing, and that the reason why this game looks that good, it's hardware. And the crash that you just experienced also makes you think if they were cheating, it's probably they were cheating on the client end, not the server.
Yes. The question is, can I find? I mean, I probably examined my headset at some point. Can I see any anti-tamper devices in that headset?
Okay, I'm going to go one step further and assume you have 2 headsets, and one of them is in pieces, and the broken one is the one you tampered with.
Okay.
Because you're a professional criminal. Wasn't easy getting 2 of these. You go through all your fake IDs. Which credit card did I buy this on? Flip. Okay. Yeah. Now you know more engineering than I do. So, old school Rafferty here remembers that a lot of the in the 80s and 90s, when they tried to reverse engineer chips, they basically just sat there with a voltmeter or put data in it and saw what the chip spat back out, right?
That's still a viable strategy.
Yeah, you can still
Wow.
just choose what your inputs are, check out the outputs, and just kind of treat it like a black box.
Okay, but modern. Okay, so and we're gonna get a little bit into fantasy here, so I do apologize, but we want to keep a certain level. Basically, I also understand that many modern chips are so sophisticated that they may be running their own internal operating systems inside their own chips.
Absolutely.
Right. So you can if you were to brute force it, there might be so many levels of in this chip to understand it. I guess I would say that it's not so much that it's anti-tampering, so much as in it's on a proprietary board and it's proprietary chips, which means you don't have like a handy instruction set to review or anything, because you've only got compiled software, and then you've got the chips and you have no specs. This isn't like trying to decrypt an 8086 where they would have told you what the assembler instructions were. You don't actually have access to that sort of thing. That, I think, would be your primary obstacle in trying to figure out what's on the chip.
Yes, that might be, but it's not an insurmountable task. I can link you to some materials on how to do it.
Yes, welcome to Computer Crime, folks. That's why you came to our podcast.
Yes.
Let's not bring those links up in the podcast, just in case.
Well, it's just published videos from various interesting conferences.
Right.
Like DEF CON or 33C3.
Yeah, DEF CON. Right. So I'm familiar enough with this. So yeah, so you think it... Well, so the next question is, what if you wanted to decrypt the entire chip, you would probably need a larger operation. But those guys who hacked the client, they were 4 punks. You could... if you wanted to reverse engineer what they did, you could try to go through the core dump and see what happened. But I'm guessing if that was client-based, you wouldn't be able to see their data. So it would be possible. But what I'm really just getting at here is it might help if you teamed up with someone who knew something about this, in the interest of storytelling and also pooling your skill points. And you can't help but notice that you're in a guild with a talented Japanese programmer.
Definitely, I would need some help with the programming side of this. I can deal with getting the binaries off these chips, but getting new data in might be...
Right. So that's why I'm suggesting is you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, I already know Hiraku here, and he has a grudge against these guys, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So yeah, so that would be so I guess I would ask, I know you're in this country specifically because you wanted to get the NIE system before it goes worldwide or whatever, so you can, I guess. I mean, what is your goal with this? Is your plan to like decrypt it and sell knockoffs, or sell the region unlocking chips or the cheating chips? What is Rahul's big plan?
I suppose that getting the IP and getting the maybe even knockoffs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to? So, what do you want to do as your next step?
I suppose that pinging the Hiraku about it might be a good idea.
Okay. So, fortunately, even though the server is down, they have a sideline instant messenger app for...
Use it on your phone so it doesn't take up your computer resources, because this VR headset will sure crash your computer if you try to run 2 things at once.
It definitely has to be on phone. So Rahul gets out his, but it takes Rahul half an hour to remember which burner phone he put that on. Why do I have so many of these?
Yes.
So while he's doing that, Jakai, you finish your ablutions.
As you do.
And then you go, like, you might, like, actually take a shower, fan service, and then go, and then go back to see, well, it's been, like, 20 minutes, maybe the server's back online. Nope, it's not.
All right, I guess I'll go to Twitter.
Okay, so you're just kind of hanging out.
Or our non-branded Tweeter.
Yes.
Well, no, I mean, you go onto Twitter to see if the company has put out an official response.
Oh, yes. They have an official response on their webpage and their social media that says, we apologize for the unplanned outage. We'll let you know when we're back. And then, of course, this has 978 replies. It's a deep state. They've said the game. What am I supposed to do? I can't. The day star burns us. I can't go outside. The usual, like, nonsense.
Right.
Do you have any skills in browsing social media?
I have eyes from which to see.
Questioning is the usual skill for going through social media.
As
Because
I've
it's the
said,
skill-
I've got eyes with which to see, and that's about
right.
all.
You don't see anything interesting. So what would you do if you weren't, it's like, I was going to play the game tonight, but I can't. What would you do if you were denied your virtual reality?
Well, I guess I'd text Hirako, see if he wants to go out clubbing.
Okay, so Hirako, yes, because that's what Hirako does. He clubs.
Well, I do, and he's my best friend, and I'm trying to make him a more sociable person.
I wish I had links handy for Devilman.
I haven't watched it yet, although I've heard very good things.
No, the original Devilman has the best clubbing scenes.
Ah.
Yeah, no, the good one has real clubbing. That's probably the original. I was like, Anyway, so there's Hirako being a turbo geek, and he gets text messages from Jakai.
Haraku, meanwhile, is just like at his computer going, how would this happen? Well, I guess maybe if there was some sort of interference. Is someone running something odd on their own rigs? I have to get to the bottom of this so that I can get paid.
You're coming to
Maybe
the
I can
same
put it into a
conclusion.
phone.
Right, and you got like 4 successes. You're coming to the same conclusion that Rahul is. It's like, wait a minute. It looks like that, if those guys were cheating, they might have been doing it on the client end. But that would be insane. What kind of AAA developer would allow people to alter their own clients so they can cheat? No one would ever do.
Yeah, Haraku just like makes a slight note to himself. When my company eventually forces me to make the mobile version of these kinds of MMOs, do not do it this way.
Okay. Right.
Otherwise, it might turn into a Pony Island free.
Yes, guys, that's where we're here. Pony Island VR.
The best game.
But
Yeah,
but
so, I get a
Jakai
message
wants to
from
ask if
Jakai.
you want to go party. So do you want to keep working on your computer research project? Or do you want to go party with Jakai?
Well, I have research here and money, but I do want to take a day off.
Yeah,
So you know what?
What's your motto again?
What am I doing here?
What am I doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm gonna go ahead, message him back, see him there, and turn off my work and go clubbing.
All right. So I can fantasize that we have a Yoko Kanno musical budget. So
We get our idol singer in.
what skills do you have useful in going clubbing? I think presence is the skill of letting other people notice how cool you are.
Absolutely none, I believe.
I have carousing.
But you have carousing, which gives you 1 success automatically on any clubbing roll. All right. Well, this is being extroverted, so it's a will and presence roll.
Let's see. How big is my will? My will's my worst thing.
It's almost like you're a nerdy introverted programmer.
Well, thank God I have that 1 automatic success. That 1 automatic success denotes that I am at least able to go out to clubs and not be a complete idiot about it. But my best friend is.
But your friend
I am best friends with you, and that does rub off on me.
Congratulations. When people write the reviews of this episode, they complain about how this is the worst episode in the entire history of the Vital Hearts anime. This is obviously a stupid filler episode where the 2 idiot characters you don't care about go to the bar and embarrass themselves.
We green screen over Spider-Man 3 where Peter Parker is just dancing down the street and that's Haraku.
Yeah. With 1 success, you can find the bar. You can actually find a bar.
Yeah, no, it's that episode where I've been leading you on to believe that I'm just the social ladies man the entire time. It's like, hey, you want to go out? He never goes out. Fuck, he wants to go out.
Well, the
So you mentioned that there'd be some girls over here. Where?
You asked
Why
me
is
that
it
thing-
empty?
Why are they not paying any attention to us? Yes, of course. I'm not going to pretend I know what the youth Japanese clubbing scene is like, but whatever we show, it's not it. Yeah, you guys go out and like no one talks to you, and you do karaoke to bad anime theme songs. And,
Oh, come on now. We're not horrible. At least I'm not
What do you mean
horrible.
you're not
I have
horrible? You guys
one
are-
success.
You literally roll the word right. So
One
so
success
basically
means I can do anything anybody can do.
you could You could actually find. Well, this is Japan, which means you could actually find the bar and then bring yourself to actually enter it. And then right. So
I
you
can
don't-
order drinks and have horrible conversations with women that have nothing to do with me.
right. Where
I'm pretty sure this drink shouldn't be $120, but I mean, you say it's okay.
sorry, 12,000 yen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, and also well, the good news is, Jakai, you brought Hiraku with you. He made so you can look better. But yeah, you guys are basically having like Night at the Roxbury in Japanese terms. You guys go out and have a miserable time and are really just reminded of we'll have to have one of those anime sideways monologues of virtual reality is so much better than real life. Here in this bar, no one talks to me. We have to have slow pans over the bar. Here, everyone's got their own motive. They live their little lives. They're not real people. They're just non-player characters in my
Gosh,
story.
everyone here is so fake. You try to talk to them about low-level computer architecture, and you start telling them about L3 caches, and they just turn and walk away. What the hell's up with that? They're all phonies.
Could I make one pitch to make this not a filler episode?
You do have a personality attribute.
No. Just a. The two guys are sitting at a bar or something like that, and they're having a conversation about programming or something, and then
We
the
only see
one.
their backs, so we don't see their lips.
Yeah, but no, then the one NPC comes along and he overhears us, and maybe they're related to the story. I don't.
Well, moving on from there. So Rahul, you
It's
don't
a
know
no.
anybody in Japan. All right. So armed with the knowledge that you need to get some better programmers, are you just going to sleep it off, or going to do some sort of bizarre adventure? What are you going to do?
Since the one programmer I could have trusted a little bit on this has basically said no thank you, I am going to busy myself with my various mechanical equipment and spend the rest of the night doing strange things. Making strange things.
Okay, so you're going to do crime. All right. What skills do you have useful in making strange crime things? I believe craft is the best skill for this.
I also do have sabotage, but I don't think it will apply.
No, sabotage would be breaking things. So, you're skilled at picking locks and defeating security systems. You're actually making things today, so that doesn't actually help you. You could go ahead and roll mind and craft, and you'll get an extra D8 bonus because you're at home in your lab. Okay. I personally think this episode is unfairly reviewed, that when Jakai and Hiraku hang out, it's not a filler episode, but it gives you some insight into their characters, such as how Hiraku is obsessed to the point of computers, he doesn't have his own personality, and Jakai is just unsatisfied with life. Jakai, what was your motto again?
Oh, what a hero you have found in me.
Right. If only other people could appreciate the hero that you are, but here in this modern day Japan, you have no opportunities for that. Well, Rahul, out of all those dice, you scored one success, so you're not making anything impressive. You're making anything anyone could have made rolling one success. So I guess you got your Raspberry Pi online.
Oh yes.
Unless you, I don't know if you burned your personality in the video game, because we haven't had a cooldown for that yet. But you could roll your force of personality and re-roll it.
I see no point at this moment.
Okay, so you spent some time working on some projects, and just basically burning yourself with a soldering iron and cursing yourself. And I mean, sure, you got that one. You rooted your burner phone, but that's about it. Um. Okay, so you so you guys go out for a night on the town, but no, I don't think you guys. Nothing untoward happens to the partying guys either.
That's a shame. Would have made for an exciting night.
I wouldn't say it was a good time out, Jakai, but it was an interesting time.
It's not how this usually
We
goes.
should try it again.
Yeah, we should. Didn't really live up to all the stories I've told at work.
Okay. I'd like both of you to make rolls of body and endurance.
Oh boy, I actually have that now because of certain changes.
Virtual reality has taught me how to better hold my alcohol.
This is true. I've learned occasionally how to actually run. Let's see, my predictor was D8.
A lot of ones today.
I think Roll20 just doesn't like that we play so rare.
No, it's once again it's observer difference. Okay, so you guys both get drunk, but it's Japan, so I assume you're not driving. Jakai holds his liquor better, and he also has carousing. So with both of your ones, you guys go and embarrass yourselves at the bar, but don't actually get physically ill. But yeah, so you guys are lightly buzzed. After you get buzzed, I assume that you'll part your ways and go home, right?
Yeah, take the trains back home.
Okay.
What time is it?
It is, well, you guys get kicked off the game in evening because they have the hours of the game are designed to be after school hours. Once again, there are people protesting the idea of virtual reality slaves, health regulations, etc., etc. So now it is dark. The light pollution from the city is a faded gradient to the sky.
Right, but we didn't stay out till early morning. It's not closing time, as it were.
No, you guys are rolling ones. You guys are not.
I gotta keep going. I gotta test my own luck because I gotta know that it was Hiroku's fault that I had such a bad time and not my own.
Why don't you roll an extra D8, or just roll a D8 now that as an assist bonus because you don't have the baggage of Hiroku. It was totally him. You'll go to a bar, spend some more money, and Hiraku, you'll just go home and pass out.
Fair enough.
Rahul will just spend some time on some of his crime things. But it's unusual that Jakai, when you go home, you are still sober enough, even in your inebriated state, that when you go to unlock your apartment door, your door isn't locked.
Now, do I think I locked it?
You have 2 successes. You think you locked it. In fact, what are your what's your job again?
I'm a laborer.
Yeah. The
I
reason
do
why
maintenance at the company.
the reason why your door isn't locked is because your door has been forced open.
Is the light on the inside?
Nope.
Do I hear anything?
Make a roll of mind and observation.
So am I. Oh, that's right. I do have observation. I keep missing that.
That you do have. I wonder if anything's gonna. Welcome to day labor. I wonder if anything's gonna fall on my head. 2 successes, which would be enough to see.
One success.
One success. That would be enough to see anybody who is casually hidden, but not a ninja.
Hearing though is what I'm going for. Do I hear anything?
Right. So you just kind of push the door open. Well, your apartment's not that big.
I don't just push open. Whoa. No. You can just walk
Well-
into a break and entry, a B&E.
Okay. Well, okay. So you went to go open the door, and you discovered you could push it ajar. So you'll just pause, and you'll have that look on your face.
No, I don't enter my own apartment.
Right. Well, that's why
I
said
pull
you
out my
pause.
phone, and I'm going to call the local authorities.
Okay. Yeah. With one success, you don't hear anyone. Once again, in game term, that would mean you could find anyone who only had, who rolled less than 2 successes to hide. You call the police. This being Japan, and you're in a reasonably good, district, they will show up in 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Right, and otherwise I'll just hang out in front of my own apartment.
They advise you to go hang out in front of the vending machines where it's well lit and you're in a public area that can be seen.
Sure, makes sense. Preferably if there's one with a, security camera somewhere.
There's definitely a camera. There's cameras in the vending machines.
Right.
So yeah, the police will show up in their uniforms. They'll say, I'm Inspector Ishida. This is my badge. They'll go, why don't you come with us? So, and the 2 of them will take you inside your apartment. And of course, the first thing they'll ask is, so was it this messy and unkempt when you left?
Was it? Oh,
No.
there was not a lot of
You
stuff, right. Yeah.
Yeah. You
No.
said you were neat and fastidious.
Right. Also, there's not a lot of stuff there, so you'd really have
Okay.
to make an effort to toss the place to make it look like
Right.
a mess.
They made an effort.
No, it wasn't this way. Somebody must have done this. God, my stuff. What's destroyed?
Your NIE headset is still here, but it's on the floor and smashed.
Camera wide cuts to the room from a top-down perspective as I drop to my knees and look to the sky. And why, God? Why?
And the 2 policemen will roll their eyes and go, hikikomores. We'll go ahead and file a police report. I have here since it's the year 2020X, I'll file out my personal digital assistant here, aka phone. And they'll take your statement and they'll ask you some questions. You rolled 2 successes. You're a little drunk, so the guys they're patient with you, and they listen to you recount your story. You actually have presence, right?
No.
No? Okay. They question you. They wrote this roll because they don't care. Listen to your story, take some notes, see your headset was smashed. But as near as you can tell, nothing was actually stolen.
Okay.
You don't keep money in your house, so.
Right.
And you didn't actually have any collectibles that were worth stealing, so.
Nope.
But it's been an invasion of your privacy, which of course is a huge traumatic experience. No.
It reminds me of EVE Online.
Yeah. So
Those
they'll take some
people are
notes.
vicious.
And of course the inspector will shake his head. It's like, whoever that perp was, they probably, they did you a favor. Those video games are bad for you. They rot your brain and give you unrealistic expectations.
I work for a video game company.
Oh. Well, you should
They've
get an
literally done me the opposite of a favor. Whatever those are called.
Video game companies?
No, the opposite of a favor.
Well, we'll just agree to disagree, and the policemen nod at each other. The youth today, they don't appreciate working a good, honest job like policemen.
I work maintenance.
This is when Jakai
I work
goes,
with
"I'm
my
older than
hands."
you."
Well, if you can work with your hands, why don't you get a good, honest job like in construction or something? Help, rebuild this country.
Corporate maintenance pays better. I have to look out for myself, don't I? Am I not responsible for my own well-being?
He's got us there, sir. He is responsible for his own well-being. We appreciate your existentialist outlook, they say.
And I appreciate you looking out for my stuff.
We'll follow the report. Let us know if anything turns up. Here's my, even though we have, digital phones, here's my business card.
What's my case number?
It's a ridiculously long hashtag.
I need
They
to know
give it
my
to you.
case number in order to call back and be able to pull up any information you may have gathered from my case.
Since it's 2020X, he has a ticket printer, so he prints you a ticket. And then, they say sorry about your loss or whatever, and then they'll leave unless you have something you want to bring up with them.
No, because any leads I actually have are all just, hey, I encountered a guy in a video game, which really doesn't seem like it's going to pull over well on these cops who don't like video games.
Well, they get, yeah. Well, in the world of Vital Hearts, there is a divide going on where there's a lot of people who think that virtual reality is for hikikomori, for people who are retreating from the real world.
Right. Mostly neats.
Yes, and thus is a drain on society.
Right, so they'll just shuffle out and I'll be standing there just staring down at my destroyed headset. I guess with the background knowledge that I'm going to have to also fix my door because of what was kicked in or something.
Well, you actually have, why don't you make a roll of mind, observation, and craft? What procs do you have that would help with this?
Probably carpentry. I assume my door doesn't work on mechanics.
Carpentry definitely helps. Your house is made of, brick and wood.
Yeah, it's my brick door.
Well, it's Japan, so I assume it's wooden slats with brick walls in between, so it's reasonably earthquake-proof.
Right. That's a reasonable assumption. Let's see. D6 observation, 2d6 craft,
But I
D4
also
mind.
assume that even though you're a person of means, you also don't live expensively, so your apartment is just a lot of drywall.
Just one success.
Okay. Well, you're no expert in sabotage, but you have one success plus the carpentry.
Oh, right, yeah, plus the carpentry, 2 successes.
Okay. It looks like it was forced open, but and you got pretty good luck. But it also looks like it was forced open by whoever did it. Focused a maximum amount of force on a minimum area. Now, I apologize if this still isn't true, because locks are reasonably resistant to lock bumping. That's where you bring a hammer and a big thick board, and if you strike in the right place with the right force, you can actually bump a lock.
I remember watching one of those entry videos without actually having to lockpick. A lot of doors are just terrible, and most of them you could probably just kick in.
Right. And also, I remember this was a hysteria for a while. It's like, oh my god, anyone who wanders around town with a sledgehammer and a 2x4 could break into your house. It's like, yes, anyone wandering around with a sledgehammer and a 2x4 could break into my house. I'm not that surprised. Yeah. So you might not have noticed it at first. If you were a little drunker or a little worse at your job, you might not have even noticed it. You might have just assumed that you left your door unlocked. Whoever did this was a pro.
All right. A pro. So I don't actually have anything to fix then. My door can just be shut at this point, is what you're telling me.
This doesn't permanently damage the lock, no, but there is damage to the door frame. You are sitting there thinking, maybe I should replace the lock with a more expensive one, but you're also a renter, so that usually is an issue with your landlord.
Right.
You make a mental note that you're angry at your landlord for giving you a cheap lock.
And also need to file in with the building complex that, or I guess my super, that I need to have my door fixed.
Yeah. Also, also with one success, you'll look over your console. It really looks like somebody put your headset on the floor and stomped on it a few times.
Well, I gathered that.
Okay. So, but they didn't pulverize it to pieces. They just broke it into several bits. There's some plastic. The outer plastic shards, the outer casing, that cracked and splintered into a bunch of plastic pieces. But the inside, it looks like the internal board cracked along a fissure line, and the chips look like they're intact.
Yeah, but unfortunately my specialties are carpentry and mechanics, not electronics.
If only you knew somebody who was good at electronics.
If only.
So and Hiraku just goes home and passes out on his bed.